Donald Trump. Donald, thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you very much, Rita.
What are you expecting? This is obviously a big night.
Well, it is. It's a very exciting day, and I'm back in New York where, there's just been great love all over the city. It's been an incredible thing, and hopefully we'll do really well, and we'll see what happens in a little while.
Yeah, what is really well? Because, of course, the polls show you significantly ahead. Is there a sense you, of course, want to beat 50%?
Well, I think I'd like to beat 50%. That's very hard when you have three people. You have a senator or a governor. Now, they both are not good for New York, and everyone knows that. And Cruz actually has a dislike for New York. And, he came up with that whole thing with New York values with a lot of anger about the city and about the state. And I think that he won't do very well. I think any New Yorker that votes for him would be maybe not a New Yorker. And Kasich was, as you know, voted NAFTA, and NAFTA is the thing that really destroyed the manufacturing businesses and so many businesses in New York. So Kasich is very, very negative for New York, and his attitude has been bad toward New York. So let's see what happens. But, I'm from New York. I've lived here all my life. When I go up to Syracuse and Rochester and all of these different places, Rita, it is total wipeout. I mean, the businesses have been taken. I just left Albany, and I looked at what's happened there. And, last night we had a tremendous event in Buffalo, but you see what happened to Buffalo. So sad. So many jobs taken. And the manufacturing plants, you see them all over, just empty buildings, empty shells. They've moved to Mexico and other countries. So when people see that, they know I'm going to bring it back, and I'm going to bring it back fast. We're not going to let it happen anymore.
Do you believe that this could be a huge night for you? Because a lot of people are also believing, Donald, that if you do extremely well tonight, and the polls are showing you're going to do very well, that this could be, really the thing that could help seal, at least to be the beginning of sealing the nomination, possibly getting that 1237.
Well, I think we're going to get there. I mean, that's what we've really been fighting for. I'm not worried about second and third ballots. I've been really fighting for that. And, it's a rigged system. It's a terrible system. It's very corrupt in so many different ways. You look at, the way these delegates are chosen, and they take them around in limousines. They give them hotel rooms. They do all sorts of things. This isn't democracy. And if you did that with elected officials, you'd be put in jail. And I think it's a terrible system, and I think I've exposed it. I mean, if I've done one thing, I've exposed a very corrupt system, and it's a rigging system so the bosses can make their choices and you can keep it going. I'm self-funding, and they hate that I'm self-funding because that means people don't have any control, and they don't have any control over you, and I can do what's good for the country, not what's good for some donor or some lobbyist. So that's the way we're running it, and we've exposed a bad system and a very corrupt system, and hopefully people are going to remember that when they go to the booth.
Do you think it's going to be a great night? The polls are indicating that.
Well, I hope so, Rita. I mean, I think if I got 75 delegates, that would be considered a great night. Maybe I can get more. Some people would say more. But I think anything over 70 delegates would be really a great night. And I'd like to break 50%. It's more of a psychological number, except in the individual districts. But then if you get 50%, it's really good. But I would certainly like to get 50%, and if I got 50%, that would be a great tribute. Very hard to get 50% when you have two people running, but these are two people that have not been nice to New York.
Are you shocked how, and I think you have done a very powerful job, Donald, at showing the crazy delegate system, as you've talked about. I think so many people, who have been following you and so many who have been coming out to your rallies are saying, look, I'm voting. The popular vote should count, and the polls are showing that. People are outraged as you are. Are you shocked, I guess, how intricate and how, I guess, the nuances of this race that people, I don't think, realized until you exposed it?
I'm shocked. I'm surprised. I've heard delegates all my life, but nobody's ever seen how the system really works, and I've exposed it. I've exposed a lot of things, and I've exposed it. It's corrupt, and it gives the bosses the power. When you look at Colorado, where the bosses just pick, people are out there are picketing and going crazy. They never got to vote in Colorado. They never got to vote in Wyoming, and the bosses pick the candidates. And I'm never going to want to play that game. I think I could play that game very well. I've dealt with bosses all my life, the bosses of the political system all my life, but that's not the way we're going to make our country great. And I'm really honored to have exposed something that's actually been going on for many years and nobody brought it up. I think it's never been shown. Like, as an example, I heard today, in the polls, I'm way up in Pennsylvania, but I hear Cruz is over there trying to get delegates because he's not going to win with a popular vote, but he's trying to sign up delegates. Now, they're taking them on trips, they're taking them eating to dinner, and they're taking them all over the place. And what kind of a system is that? It's really terrible. And the super PACs are out there, and they're trying to help Cruz, and they're not supposed to be doing that. So it's a very corrupt system, and it's been exposed now, and I think I make it very much harder for them to do, but I'll win the popular vote. And, how do you win the popular vote and get less delegates? In Louisiana, I won the popular vote, so I should get the delegates. Well, I got less delegates than somebody that didn't win. I beat Cruz easily, and I got less delegates. Now, that's a corrupt system.
Do you believe it's pretty disgusting? I think some people feel.
It's disgusting, and it has to be changed, and despite all of it, I'm winning. So we'll keep it going. But, fortunately, I'm winning. Where I'm really winning, I have millions and millions of votes more than him.
Do you believe you will win this?
Oh, I think so. I think I'm going to win on the first ballot. But, fortunately, we figured the system out, and we figure out how corrupt it is. And, even people that are against me, even people that are on the other side of the platter, people that are liberal or whatever, even Bernie fans. And it's happening to him, too, to an extent, but believe it or not, it's not to the same extent. The superdelegates, at least they're obvious. With the Republicans, it's worse and it's less obvious. But even Bernie fans and other fans are saying that what's happening here is a corrupt system. And these are people that aren't necessarily for me, but these are people that say that Trump has really exposed corruption and a rigged system, and people never thought of it. Sort of like the paperclip. It's a simple idea, but nobody ever thought of it except the one person who made a lot of money, right? Well, this is pretty simple. Once, people that are doing commentary and people that would usually not give positive commentary to me are giving unbelievably positive commentary to me. And I think it's turning out to be a political advantage.
Some people are saying it's almost like a backdoor deal. How do you equate it?
It's a backdoor deal. It is. And, in Colorado, they say, we never changed anything. Well, they did, because I announced in June, and in August they changed, okay? And the reason they changed is they did some polls, some internal polls, I understand, that were showing Trump is going to win Colorado. Now, in Florida, it worked the opposite. They went to a winner-take-all, 99 delegates, second biggest after California. And I was running against a very popular senator, young, the face of the party, and I was running against a popular ex-governor who was known by everybody. And so they said winner take all, because that means one of those two guys, and they really had it in mind for Bush, to be honest, but one of those two guys would take, they'd win by, even if it was a close vote, they'd win and they'd get all. And so they made the change, winner take all, and then what happened is they did a poll, and I was at 48, and they were in the teens. And they said, whoa, wait a minute, this isn't what we had in mind. And I ended up winning Florida by a landslide, and I picked up all the votes. Now, that one worked to my advantage, but the bosses miscalculated. They miscalculated how positive people think about what I'm doing, and, it's really a movement. It's not about me, it's about a movement.
How do you describe, I guess, the way the bosses have handled it? I mean, what kind of adjectives would you use to describe them, Donald?
Well, I think they've handled it badly, and I think if the millions of people that came out to vote for me are disenfranchised, I think there's going to be unbelievable turmoil. And I think that whoever the candidate is, and that's why I think Paul Ryan perhaps really doesn't want to win. Now, run. Now, I don't know if he doesn't want to run. He said that, so I'm not sure. But I will take him at his word. He said, I don't want to run, because he knows millions of people came out and voted for me. And those people will never vote for anybody else. And if they don't, the Republicans can't win.
Do you believe, when you say unbelievable turmoil, do you just think that people are going to be just livid and so frustrated and so outraged that almost anyone other than Donald Trump they won't accept?
I think that's true. I think they will not accept anybody but me. I'm the messenger. It's not about me. I have the message. These people have been absolutely decimated for years and years and decades even. And you look at what's happening with trade deals in Mexico and what China's done to our country. They've treated us like a bunch of dopey. I mean, we have dopey people running our country, or people that are getting campaign contributions that are actually very smart, but they're doing the wrong thing for our country because it's to their advantage. And these people haven't had a pay increase, a real pay increase, in 18 years, Rita, in 18 years. And they're smart people, and they're hardworking people, and they're tired of it. So, yeah, I think what you said is right.
Rosie O'Donnell just sort of taking some swipes at you. You guys have had a long-running feud. You didn't tweet back, and I was wondering if you're going to tweet some of her tweets. Are you holding off on Twitter?
Look, I don't mind if she does that at this point. She's trying to stay relevant, and I fully understand what she's doing, and I really don't care.
And you seem like you've been holding off on making comments in general. Have you been saying, look, I need a different tone?
No, not really, although my daughter Ivanka, my wife Melania said, you could low-key it a little bit. Don't forget, I was fighting, there was 17 people, senators, governors, people like Ben Carson who are terrific and really smart people, and I was fighting 17 people, Carly, and I won the fight, except for the final two. And I mean, one is 1 for 32, and the other one has won much less than me. He's got 10, and I've got 22 states, and I've got millions of votes more. So, you know, I'm beating him quite badly. So we have to finish it off. So I think probably when it's finished, I will take a different tone, but I sort of don't want to change too much right now.
Are you excited about tonight?
I think we're going to have a great night. I hope we're going to have a great victory, and I look forward to the evening, and I look forward to watching everybody going out and vote. I just voted, and it was unbelievable the amount of people that we had around the voting areas. They were all positive. They were all cheering, and they want to make America great again, and I'm the only one that's going to be able to do that. Nobody else is going to be able to do that.
And Donald, let me ask you personally, what does it mean to be here in New York, to see just these great polls, to see the huge crowd? What does it mean for you this evening? It's got to mean something very special.
It means a lot, and especially that New York has become such an important state in the voting process. And it means a lot because, you know, I've loved this city for a long time. I've put a lot of people to work and taking care of education, taking care of health care, taking care of a lot of families, and they've done great for me. And it means a lot, and it's fantastic that to me it's just fantastic that New York has such a prominent place in the cycle.
Could a win tonight be just one of, I guess, maybe one of the most special nights for you personally?
It would be, especially because it's New York. It'll be very special. But, you know, I go on to Pennsylvania, where I have a big history. I went to school there, and the Wharton School of Finance at Penn. And,
That's
you know,
right.
it means, but this would mean a lot to me. And a lot of the other states that are coming up mean a lot to me. I have a lot of history with a lot of those states, so it'll be great. And I just want to thank you, Rita, very much, okay?
And Donald, thank you very much. I wish you so much luck tonight, Donald Trump.
Thank you very much, Rita. You take care of yourself.